Now we're ready to start on her hair buns, and we'll make 2 of these. So grab your yarn again, and if you like using that paper clip to hold the end down, go ahead and secure that at this time. We're going to start out in the same manner that we did for the hair by making a slip knot and crocheting 2. And then we'll go ahead and put 6 stitches in that first crochet stitch. And then for round 2 on the hair, we're just going to single crochet in each stitch that we just made. Again, this can be difficult, so just be patient. Once you get going, you can get into a rhythm. It's just getting those first few stitches going is the frustrating part. Round 3 is in brackets again. And then back to round 4 and 5, we're just going to single crochet in each one. Okay, after round 5, we're going to start closing up the opening to the bun. So you can see that we're going to single crochet 2 together and start decreasing from 18 stitches down to 12. So to single crochet 2 together, you just insert into one stitch, wrap, pull it out, insert into the next stitch, wrap, pull it out, and you'll have 3 stitches on your hook, and then you wrap and pull through all 3. And now we're going to close it up really fast on this last stitch. And so we're just going to do single crochet 2 together all the way back around. Just pinch your work together if that helps, so you can see where your stitches are. Okay, and then we'll fasten off. And again, we're going to leave a nice long length of yarn. Have a nice little bun, and go ahead, take that end from the paper clip and wrap that to the inside. And then take your longer end and put it on your needle. We're just going to stuff these little buns just a little bit, just a tiny bit of stuffing so that they'll hold their shape. Be sure when you're stuffing to take that paper clip tail and put it to the inside. Just stuff it right inside that bun with the stuffing. Our hole's pretty small, so you have to just get your fingers in there. Give that bun a little bit of shape. Perfectly done. We have a nice little shape. And then bring Princess Leia over and go ahead and look for placement for this bun by looking at your picture, and then just sew like we did the hair. Just go ahead and sew around the bun to hold that bun to the head, and make sure that you're in stitch numbers or round number 6. And that will hold the bun in place, but it also keeps the shape of the bun. When you feel like that is how you want it, go ahead and tie it off. And we'll repeat this process for the second side. Now, I don't really like how that is open right there, so I'm going to grab another piece of yarn and just stitch it into place. This is why yarn is such an easy medium to work with, because it is very forgiving. Now I'm going to leave that tail because we'll come back and stitch that in also to tie it off. But I want to make certain that I've got this bun tucked down nicely so I'm not seeing the stuffing. Okay, that is much better. I'll go ahead and take a couple of final stitches in here to tie it off. And then I'm going to repeat that process for the second bun. And now we're ready to crochet the arms, and we're going to start with that yarn color that we started her face with. I used off-white, maybe you used peach or a different color altogether, but start with the same color that Princess Leia's face is. We're going to go ahead and make that slip knot and insert our hook. We're going to chain 2 and work those 6 single crochets in that chain 2. And then we're just going to single crochet in each one of those 6 stitches. And this time we are working in a really small area. So again, be patient with yourself, because it can be very frustrating. And now here's where it even gets trickier. So we're going to cut a length off. I'm going to cut off our paper clip, and we're going to change to white yarn. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the paper clip because we're going to end up with several tails, and that can get really confusing. We are going to make 2 arms, so this will be good practice at yarn change and working in very small areas. So we're going to leave these tails just like they are. We're not going to bother them again, and we're going to pick up that white yarn and slide it through the stitch that we just made. And then kind of tighten everything down, and we're going to start working with our white yarn. And at this point, we're going to grow the area out a little bit. So we're going to single crochet in 2 and then single crochet in 1, and we're going to repeat that process 3 times. Just kind of pinch your work so you can see where your next stitch is. And then for the next 3 rounds, we're just going to single crochet in each one. It should be 9 stitches, so you'd be doing 27 single crochets. And then moving on to round 7, we're going to decrease by 1. So we're going to single crochet the next 2 together, and single crochet in 7. We're going to close it up by 1. We're going to single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in 7. And then just single crochet around. We have a nice little arm coming along here, and we're going to take it down to 6 stitches. And then we're just going to slip stitch in that last stitch and fasten it off. And remember, you're going to want to make 2 arms. And then you can come in here and take your paper clip off, because we're going to hide every one of those tails. I know it got a little messy down with all of the tails, so just take them one by one and stitch them back in. And bury them to the inside. And then we're just going to take a little bit of stuffing and push it down into the hand part. We don't need to stuff the entire arm. And then we're going to go ahead and sew that arm onto our body. We kind of want to place that right up by her neck according to our picture. And again, yarn is so fun, because if you want it to kind of tuck down to Princess Leia's side, you can just stitch the arm down her body more. Or if you want it to be a bit freer, you can just stitch around the crown, the opening. Whichever you decide, just be sure to stitch her arm on nice and tight. I like to do a lot of the stitching from the back side because that hides any of the mistakes that you might make. You're not going to see from the front. And then I'm going to finalize my stitch back here. And then just tie it off really well and hide the end inside the body. Okay, one arm is done. You'll just repeat that process for the other arm and get that put on. I have both of Princess Leia's arms on, and I'm really happy with the way they turned out. However, I decided I didn't like her mouth, so I went back in, because I didn't have thin yarn, I went back in and split my 4-ply yarn and pulled out just one strand, and we're going to redo her mouth with just one strand of the yarn. This is what I love about yarn. You can kind of make it work for you. So I'm just going to see what this looks like with just one strand of yarn in here. Actually, I'm going to pull this down here because I need a little bit more space to hide that yarn in. That tail, I don't want it to come out. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stitch back. Oh yes, I'm going to like one strand a lot better. I'm also just going to put one line in for her lip. So again, don't be afraid to change the pattern. You can do whatever you like to make this work for you. Then I'm going to stitch back over this way and hide the yarn. Oh, I like that so much better. Clip that off right here. Tuck the end in. All right, there we have it. Princess Leia made our way.